Campeones, campeones,
Campeones,
ole,
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 ole, ole.
campeones,
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 ole,
ole,
ole.
ole, ole.
I think we can save it. I've literally lost my voice. I was shouting outside in the street because I couldn't watch at home. It was really unfortunate that my Wi-Fi went off literally 5 to 10 minutes before the actual scheduled kickoff. And I was super glad to find out that, it was delayed by like over 30 minutes, or was it 30 minutes? 30 minutes,
It was about 36 minutes.
Yeah.
So that helped me out like a fair quite a bit, because like I had to travel to multiple places to actually find a working free Wi-Fi. So yeah, by the time I got to watch the game, it was like around 27 minutes. Boys, you got to walk me through the initial onslaught from Liverpool on us. Yeah, because I have a lot in my mind and I don't want to come off as brash from the get-go. So I'm just gonna lay back for the moment and let you guys have the reign for the opening 20 minutes. Okay, or Farouk or Doris, anybody can go.
Okay, let me just start. All right. First of all, hola Madridistas, welcome to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. And I guess this is one of the more happier ones, probably the happiest one, because at the start of the season, none of us expected a Champions League victory. I'll be honest, the first one to admit that I wasn't expecting a Champions League victory this season, because I've been this is something that I've said, that with this defense, I did not expect, especially given the weaknesses that we had. But the thing is, this team has proven us all wrong, and this team has come out of nowhere to win this title. So I wonder, what were your guys' emotions when the final whistle blew and it was Real Madrid the champions for the 14th time? It's double the next team, that is AC Milan with 7, Real Madrid with 14. So what were your emotions the first time?
I want to put that to Farouk. Farouk, you can go ahead. Come on, man.
Yeah, so to be honest, it was just a kind of, I don't know, it was a calming feeling. I don't it was a soothing feeling. It wasn't necessarily how would I say euphoria, to be honest. It was just a calming feeling, a soothing feeling, these guys have, done this, and these guys have, so let me just bring a side note. Is for me personally, I feel rather than Liverpool winning the Champions League, I'd rather Paris win, I'd rather Barcelona win, I'd rather any team win, but anything from England. So that was the thing for me, not allowing an English team to win. So that was really the key thing for me. And the victory was really, really, really much more easier than I expected, to be honest. So I was just I don't know, I was expecting a much more difficult game, in all honesty. And I felt we more than put up, I think this is one of the best Champions League games we've played all season, in terms of having control, setting the tempo. Man, Toni Kroos was doing whatever he wanted to be. He was just doing anything he wanted. Casemiro was prime Casemiro, man. Casemiro was brought back. I don't know, should I use the word? I will use the word brought back from the dead for Dani Carvajal. To me, for me personally, because I've seen Luis Diaz do shit to a lot of people, I was really scared what could happen against Dani Carvajal, and Carvajal was just, I don't know, he was on a different level.
Luis Diaz,
Wow, he was a performance deserving of champions, man. He was a really, really good. It was a really, really good performance, really, to be honest.
I mean, I have to agree with Farouk. Going into the game, for me, it was Luis Diaz, Dani Carvajal was probably one of the matches that I was worried most about, because given how big Luis Diaz has been for them ever since that transfer, you cannot, anybody who watches Liverpool, personally, I don't watch Liverpool, and even I know Luis Diaz has been immense for them. So anybody who watches Liverpool would probably say Luis Diaz is one of the key players in their team. And Dani Carvajal, the thing is Dani Carvajal cannot match him for pace, but the thing is this guy, he showed his experience. He showed Luis Diaz how to play a Champions League final. And I think Carvajal was immense today.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. If you can't match your opponent for pace, but if you're on him from the get-go and you're aggressive as fuck, he was always all over him, because if any side of a 5-yard space that Diaz actually managed to find somehow, it was completely shut off immediately. Even Militao, I got a big up, for bearing the fair brunt of taking Diaz out of the game.
Yeah,
But
for me, I think Militao was good, but there were some nervy moments for him. I don't know if like, especially in the first like 20 minutes that unfortunately you had to miss. But things like Militao, he was nervy. He was some passes that I thought that he made mistakes, under pressure.
Yeah.
So for me, Militao lacked that. But the thing is, like later on, he really kicked up. And when you told Militao, just defend, forget about everything else, he did that part like absolutely well. And then Alaba, the thing is, like, we were worried because Alaba was coming back from injury, right? We weren't sure how he's going to perform.
yeah, I was.
So he stepped up, he showed his leadership, and man, like he knew when to step out of defense and when to step back in, and how to cover from Militao, how to coordinate with Casemiro and everybody. So for me, David Alaba was also immense, and but the biggest star in defense has to be like Thibaut Courtois.
We'll talk about Tibo, but before that, I want to ask you, Doris, like exactly how you felt, because Farouk earlier mentioned that Liverpool never actually gave up a fight. Like they never seemed to put up a fight. Like for me, at least, I felt the exact opposite. Yeah, they weren't as potent as everybody portrayed them to be, which is usually almost always the fucking case with British teams. These guys are hype men, and tonight is another, very evident performance of that. But tell me what you thought, Doris. Was Liverpool up for the fight?
Well, before the game, there was a 35% possibility that Madrid go through, and against City, there was a possibility of 1% at some point.
Bravo,
and some guy commented, imagine what we would do with the 35% instead of 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had expectations coming into this game, but more out of fear. Honestly, I was so nervous before this game, but in all honestly, I agree with Farouk. I really didn't want an English team to win the UCL this year. Anyone but them.
In this podcast,
and especially Liverpool. Especially Liverpool.
But that's my only request. Yeah, like I get it. Like I'm one of the biggest haters of how arrogant these British people are. But tonight's final shouldn't be too much about it. Like, yeah, we got the perfect chance to shut them up, but I'm quite, what do you call it? Like the reaction that I've seen, especially on social media, and the reactions from my friends seem to be mild, almost like how the players were on the pitch when we won the three-peat. That shouldn't be the case. This is something so special that so many clubs dream of. We are in a very privileged position. So many things, you can't deny that so many things went our way. When we actually fought against all odds, there was
sorry for interrupting you, but I choose to disagree with that view, because the point is that after Liverpool eliminated Villarreal, Jamie Carragher was saying it's time to win our trophy with 6 European champions. You guys have 6 Champions Leagues and you're saying it's time to win our trophy. Today, Michael Owen was saying that Liverpool were the best team in Europe. They're not even the champions of England. They're not the champions of Europe, and they're the best team in Europe. So I feel, no, I disagree with that. This is the time to tell these guys, yeah, okay, you guys should know your fucking place. Like, stay where you are. That's just the point.
I have to agree with Farouk. The thing is, like, as he pointed out, like about Michael Owen, Michael Owen and Steve McManaman, these are 2 players who play for Real Madrid. So, okay, I don't expect them to fully go and say, yeah, Real Madrid is going to win everything. But I expect some sort of loyalty for us, I don't know if I'm being idealistic or whatever. The thing is, like, Steve McManaman went and said that Liverpool will put 3 or 4 past this. Michael Owen's been saying since round of 16 that Real Madrid has no chance. And before every game, he says that Real Madrid are going to lose. And I think even yesterday, he was like, this score is going to be 3-0, 3-1 or whatever. And Steve McManaman, although on English television, he was like pretty cavalier about Liverpool winning. He went on Spanish TV. I don't exactly remember which one it was. And he said that, I expect a lot of goals. And, he was a little bit toned down. But the thing is, like, none of these guys expected Real Madrid to win. And, if you remember, if you guys were watching the game against City, towards the end, Darren Fletcher, he said, this is how it should be. This is how the final should be. Should be City versus Liverpool, the two best teams in Europe.
Exactly.
You shouldn't speak too much too soon. And then you can't forget what Mo Salah said, right? I want Real Madrid.
Oh my
I want
God.
revenge.
Yes.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you get Real Madrid. The thing is, like, Real Madrid don't play finals. Real Madrid win finals. That's the ultimate take-home message that everybody should take.
Definitely.
Because the moment you go on live television and you act all cocky saying that, yeah, like I want them in the final, there's always a nail in the coffin right there. That very fucking moment you call us out, you're under the
and I mean, these guys, they forget, last 8 years, there have been only 3 teams apart from Real Madrid who have won the Champions League. Real Madrid have won it 5 times. This is like in 8 years, 5 times. Can you imagine that? Can you, like, most teams cannot reach 2 consecutive finals, Liverpool 18-19, they managed to do that, but like, most teams cannot do that. And Real Madrid reached 5 finals and they have won it 5 times. So, this team is something else.
By any stretch. Tonight wasn't pretty. Tonight wasn't those nights of years gone by of the mysticism.
I mean, I agree. It's like for me, 2017 was like the best Champions League final that Real Madrid has played. When we utterly dominated Juventus. But the thing is, like, this is another way of playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not every game has to be the same.
Carlo, bro. The amount of respect that needs to be put on is this guy's name. Now outright the manager with the most Champions Leagues. Put some respect on fucking Don Carlo, like all of us used to criticize him when we were on a downward spiral, somewhere mid-season.
Yeah, I criticized him against after the second leg against Chelsea. After the Clasico, I criticized him because I wasn't really happy with his management. But I think like Carlo Ancelotti has shown why he's the best manager in the world, and I am me. So,
and why he is the best fit for us.
Exactly.
His way of management, his way of approaching the game suits our squad and our players like perfect, because I remember during periods of uncertainty how we managed to still stay strong and find a way. The 4-0 loss, if it had happened to any other manager, to any other squad, for a fact that it's gonna be a dent in your season. Because you don't lose like that to your main rivals at home. You never do that, But still, the character this group showed to come back up again is tremendous, man. Like I have no words to describe this team's mentality. But Farooq, I want to come to you. This game showed how much actually staying in the game and not overcommitting actually helps. Everybody romanticizes of the gung-ho, the heavy metal, clock football,
the so-called modern football.
Impressed, bro. The fancy words, always thrown around. Your 2 cents, please, bro. 2 cents.
To be honest, like, we discussed earlier, like before the game, and I told you, like, for me, like, Liverpool is a team for me. Like, to be honest, like, the team to be scared of is Liverpool, to be honest. So that's why when I told you at the beginning of the show right now is that I felt like Liverpool weren't there. Like, and to be honest, it's just credit to our team performance today, to our defensive performance. This is the thing that we have always been criticizing all season long, like, about the defensive stability of the team. Like, because for me, like, it's Liverpool is a team that's just full chaos. You understand? So, and they can just go at you like 180.
They are also a team which thrive on chaos, don't you think, Farooq?
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true. You understand? But I would say, like, to be honest, like, I would say they are the masters of chaos. So this is the thing, you understand? So I was really scared that if Liverpool were to able to unleash the chaos upon us, that's gonna be trouble. But to be honest, like, we kind of controlled the game in such a way that, although, like, for me personally, I felt like they were just 2 genuine chances. Salah at the end and Mane in the first half. I think in the 25th minute or in the 30th minute, where he turned and had a shot that went on the bar. And then because I felt all the other chances were like just half chances and what is not. Maybe I missed another one, but I just felt right now off the top of my head, I can remember just those two main chances. I felt like it was, again, credit to Carlo Ancelotti, to be honest, like, it was a complete, containment of Liverpool.
Yeah.
It was a complete containment of Liverpool showing,
Because
and again,
these guys we're talking about, like I remember watching all the pre-match shows, and all the Brits, they were exactly playing to the script. They were telling the people, Real Madrid is going to actually sit deep, invite pressure, and conserve energy, because we all know their midfield, their defense is not of how it was so many years ago when we were at our like actual peak, and they would try to turn up a gear in the second half and actually try to take control of the game then. But these guys straight away walked into a trap. They knew what they were coming up against, but
definitely,
they couldn't find a way.
But actually, I think the thing now becomes this, right? Like, I felt maybe they felt like after seeing the games, like you've seen, like, to be honest, like, I think this is one of the very best games Casemiro had this season. You understand? This is one of the very best games Dani Carvajal had this season. So I feel like they were like expecting, that extra 1% when they come up against Casemiro and Dani Carvajal. And unfortunately today, that extra 1% was on our side. You get the point. So that was like the whole difference in the game, to be honest, because like, the outlet of switching from the right to the left, which Liverpool has. So it didn't happen today, from I think Alexander-Arnold to Luis Diaz or Robertson, it wasn't working today, to be honest. Like that wasn't working. So I think that was one of the key things that actually, negated their tactics as well. And also I felt like, in the middle of the pitch, like really, really like Toni Kroos stepped up today, to be honest. Like he was like, a beacon of light, a source of calmness.
He was able to get to so many fucking 50-50s that I can't even get to in FIFA, bro. Like on his day, on his off day, he is at least 10 steps behind the game. But tonight, I don't know, what was it? Is it the famous fucking hair dryer that he uses at halftime or pre-game? I don't know. But man, it's football is as much a psychological game as it is a physical game, And when you see your teammate having an absolute banger, right in the fucking final, it lifts you. And that explains why Modric, even though he didn't get on the ball as much as he would have liked, Casemiro, the amount of interceptions, the amount of crucial fucking last-ditch tackles that he was able to put in is because of this. Because these guys saw Kroos being on absolute smoke and decided, I want to be a part of it too. And
for me, I think the game changed around the minute 40th. That chance, that goal from Benzema. That was
Benzema. Yeah.
I think that's when the game changed. Before that, till like minute 25, I think Liverpool were dominant. But
is it a goal for you, before you go on? Sorry, is it a goal for you? Is it a goal for you that
okay? For me personally, like inside my heart, I think it was a goal. Because for me, it's like Fabinho touches the ball last and it sort of deflects the ball into the path of Benzema. But then, like speaking to people who have played the game, they said that it is the trailing leg of Fabinho, right? He stuck that inside and he's not going for the ball with that one. So it's an incidental hit. So probably that's why they disallowed it. But for me personally, I think it should have been a goal for, for me, the scoreline is 2-0 with the Benzema. But I think that moment was the turning point, because immediately after that there was another mistake from Alisson that could have capitalized on. So I think that was when the psychological switch happened, and then, as you say, the game that Kroos brought, and then Casemiro stepped up his game big time in the second half. Second half, like, Casemiro was immense. In the first half, if you ask me, I think it was only Courtois was like single-handedly keeping Liverpool out. But then,
especially the first 20 minutes, you told me.
In the second half, I think everybody came to his aid. In the first half, it was probably Courtois, Carvajal, but in the second half, it was like Courtois, Casemiro, Carvajal, Militao, Alaba. Everybody was there. That's my opinion.
I think you made some excellent points, and that underlines the shift in control was the phase that I think was from minute 40 to 45 plus the added injury time, where Liverpool looked shattered. Like it's understandable they had a very fucking grueling season. Like I know where they're coming from, and before the game, the whole Thiago saga, the thumbs up fucking merchant being fit or not fit, whether they'll be able to find another excuse like Salah. Oh my God, Salah couldn't play the game. We lost the final. Now who are they going to fucking blame? That's
Jurgen Klopp, like, yesterday said that the pitch was newly laid, so it wasn't like optimal. So probably there's a.
he and Xavi, yeah, they have a thing for grass.
But actually,
Like,
to be honest,
I don't
like
know what to
I actually kind of felt weird, like why UEFA like actually has mismanaged everything so much. Like, why are you laying a new pitch like 1 week before the game? And like every top professional knows that that's a new pitches are garbage. Every literal top professional knows this. You understand? And like you come and then like you're delaying the game for 36 minutes and you're asking a musician to come and play. Who the hell wants to listen to the musician, for God's sake? Like, we're not in the fucking US with Super Bowl, man. I was literally waiting for her to finish, man. Literally.
For me,
what
it
the
was
hell,
funny.
Man?
It was funny. The thing is, like, everybody in the stadium started booing her. And then, you know, the thing is, like, it was only Real Madrid fans, so they were chanting, like, you know, what do you expect Real Madrid fans to chant? And then they completely turned off the stadium volume, stadium noise. You know, they turned off everything, and just for us to listen to her, and nobody wanted to listen to her. I mean, she's probably like one of the best singers or whatever. I don't really know her, but the thing is, like, this is a football game. We just want to watch football. We don't really want, you know, Super Bowl stuff here.
No, so the thing is, okay, valid. I can agree with that. Like, but the point is, we're already like 36 minutes late, like, and we're still waiting for justice. And like, you're literally asking us to listen to, like, I wouldn't. Okay, yeah, 4 minutes of garbage, man. Yeah, fuck it, just garbage. I don't know, like, why. It is what it is, man, to be honest. I don't know, like, and when you consider this again, like 7 months ago you had the Euro 2020 in England as well. It was the same garbage as well. So like, I don't know what these guys are doing. Like, you guys have literally the biggest competition in the world, like in sports, and you guys cannot even like handle that. I don't know.
They gotta mint money, bro, so they'll eventually find it. But yeah, Doris, I want to ask you, I want to actually come to you regarding probably the man of the match, and in my opinion, one of the most colossal final performances from a single individual in Tibo Courtois. How much do you think he has grown from his early days when the Bernabeu used to boo him?
Well, currently on my second screen, he's doing an interview with Ancelotti. Anyway, he this game proved that he definitely is the best goalkeeper in the world this season. I think it's undeniable.
He actually came out on live television and was telling to the anchor that you guys don't put enough respect on me, especially back in England, and I don't know why. No matter how much a great season I have, I don't seem to get the.
Yeah, Courtois is not the one to hold back his tongue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he keeps saying that he is the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah. Just one second.
Before this game, even, but yeah, massive performance from him. Definitely our man of the match. With him, I would also like to mention Dani Carvajal. Massive performance from him as well. He held his side very well, and even when they subbed off Diaz, he still held his side from Jota and Mane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for me, another thing is like you have to go back to 2018, right? The World Cup is over. Thibaut Courtois is like telling Chelsea that I want to leave, and I want to go to Madrid. And at the same time, there's another keeper who's on the market, Alisson. Alisson's price is like close to 70 million euros, and Thibaut Courtois is available for 35 million euros. Now, 4 years down the line, both of these keepers are meeting in the Champions League final. And you can see the difference. You know, Madrid had an option to go for Alisson, but Madrid chose to go for Courtois because, you know, he was coming off a brilliant World Cup, and yeah, he was cheaper. But this guy is like, he showed his class today. It was like, you know, before the game, everybody was like, Alisson is the better keeper. Courtois is not. Maybe Alisson has. I mean, I'm willing to concede that probably Alisson has a better distribution. But when it comes to things that matter in goalkeeping, you know, the actual shot stopping of it, coming up for crosses, and you know, defending his box, I think Courtois has no match in the world today. And I think today he showed
presence, bro. Like, for me, like these guys blame Karius, right? Like he was fucking stoned to death, yeah, in 2018. But some of the schoolboy errors Alisson was making was nowhere near the hype that he actually gets. What do you think, okay?
I mean, for me, honestly, I don't watch Alisson enough to be like, to make a judgment on him, but I do watch Courtois enough. And for me, after what I watched today, I would rather have Courtois as my goalkeeper, because the thing is, like, even if my team is not dominant with the ball, I can rely on Courtois to save me. Can I do the same thing with Alisson? Probably he makes some good saves, but the thing is, like, Courtois today pulled out of a man of the match performance, and when somebody's pulling out man of the match performances in the Champions League, you know that they're a damn good player. And right now, for me, Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world. Absolutely.
Okay, let me just interject right here now. The point is,
let me just make one final point. Okay, the thing is, like, he has outshone Ederson, he has outshone Alisson today, then Chelsea's keeper Edu Mendy, and then
oh my God.
And then you also have to consider the fact that the prince of goalkeepers, Donnarumma, Courtois also outshone him.
Donnarumma, he's not fucking Donnarumma.
Him and Real Madrid, they have gotten past all these keepers who have these claims to be the best in the world. So maybe except Manuel Neuer.
So I would start by saying this. Okay, like Sunay, you pointed out about the fact that Alisson has a lot of errors. I think that's very valid. Actually, I think that's the one thing you can always point about in Alisson is that. But the thing now becomes this: it's a high risk, high reward thing. You understand? You take high risks and you get high rewards. That's the same thing with both Alisson and Ederson, actually, to that point. And to most point about, like, would Alisson save you out? I can tell you this 100%. The only reason Liverpool are finishing 1 point behind City is because of Alisson. Alisson literally makes one world-class save every single Premier League game. I'm saying this, yes. And just the same way, like, where you expect, like, Courtois to make a save.
I mean that's a good point. That's a good point. That's like one
However,
Courtois makes like 5 or 6.
Let me complete my sentence.
Like, the way he's saying it, it's almost like it's an anomaly. Like, don't you think every excellent keeper has to have the?
Unfortunately, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't have to make world-class saves every game. You don't have to make world-class saves every game. Man, do you watch Man City play? Do you watch Man City play? Like, how many saves would Ederson have to make in a season, man?
The thing is, like, I am spoiled by watching Real Madrid play every week, so I cannot go back and watch.
So actually, what I'm just trying to say here is that, like, the point is that Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world right now. There's no doubt about that. What I'm just trying to say is that there is a valid argument there when people compare Alisson to Courtois. The point for me, I don't think Ederson is that much of a good goalkeeper, but I think, like, the distribution of Ederson is as good as, maybe even better than some midfielders in the world. That's the thing. Distribution of Ederson, world class, best. But when it comes to goalkeeping, what I'm going to point out here is that Alisson is a person who reads the game perfectly and places himself in such good positions that it doesn't have to make world-class reflex saves. This is the thing. Liverpool plays a very high line, and the reason why they're able to achieve this is because of the game reading of Alisson. So this is the thing. Alisson reads the game much more better than Tibo Courtois does. That's just the thing. But then, who is a better shotstopper right now? I will still take Courtois. But I'm just saying, like, the arguments are very, very valid, to be honest.
See, my agitation comes from all the hype. You know how they hype up English players, yeah. Because I've seen my fair share of goalkeepers, and of course, Alisson is no ordinary bloke. No, is Ederson. Like, yeah, of course, Alisson is better than Ederson, but the goalkeepers of the years gone by, bro, like, they actually play out of their skin. I know Alisson has done his fair share to help Liverpool out, but the way they speak, it seems like he should be up there with the top 5 goalkeepers of the past 20-25 years. That's insane. I wouldn't put him in that bracket. He's good, but I'm not sure he's worthy of the hype he gets. But yeah, fair play, bro. Fair play.
For me, I wouldn't be as harsh on Alisson. I am somewhere more close to.
I see him with Brazil as well, yeah, because Brazil is a team, obviously, I follow in the international scene. And he is good. I'll tell you that. He is good. He's clutch. He is commanding. I get all that. But yeah, like, dissing some other top quality keepers and praising just Alisson is insane. Yeah,
I'm more closer to Farouk's assessment of Alisson than I am to yours. But for me, the thing is, like, when it comes to pure shot stopping, when it comes to pure, the things that you expect your goalkeeper to do first, right? Yeah. Because these days there's an emphasis on goalkeepers, playing out from the back and being good at the field. But the thing is, like, that is secondary. The first thing for goalkeepers is to stop the ball from going inside the net. And I think at that area of the game, I think Courtois is better than everybody else right now. So I mean, I'm not saying Alisson can never be better than Courtois. Probably, 2 years ago when Courtois was going through his down period, then probably Alisson was a much better shot stopper. But right now, the thing is like Courtois has adjusted to Real Madrid. He has been able to come clutch in the most important moments of the game. And the thing is like Courtois' management of the box, the area around him, especially when it comes to dealing with crosses and long shots. I think Courtois is one of the best keepers that has played for Real Madrid, because even when Iker Casillas was playing, he's probably the best goalkeeper that Real Madrid has ever had, but he did not have that same amount, that same ability to command his box, the same ability to come outside for crosses and and against long shots. But Courtois can do that. And I think there's nobody in world football who comes close to Courtois on doing that, because I think even today, Mo Salah, he took long shots, he took close shots, and everything they threw at him, Courtois stopped it. And I'm not sure that Alisson would have been able to do the same thing that Courtois did if their roles had been switched. So for me, I think at the moment, it's Courtois, and no doubt he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
24 shots he faced on
target, 9 saves in a final. It's unbelievable, and he is one of the main reasons we were here. We all know for a fact how
he's one of the 3 pillars of. If you talk about 3 pillars of Real Madrid, is Benzema, Vinicius, and Courtois. I think when we did the mid-season rankings, we said the same thing. It's like Benzema, Courtois, and Vinicius are 3 10 out of 10 players for Real Madrid, and I think towards the end of the season we can say that again.
Yeah, absolutely. Doris, I want to come to you, man. People often undermine us, especially in Europe this season, saying that these guys are like old legs. Yes, they have the know-how. Yes, they have the tactical nous to still grind out results when things are actually going your way. But how much do you think the influx of youth in our starting 11 and of course from the bench has helped us step up massively and overperform our odds to a very large extent? And prime example is Fede Valverde. What do you think? Was it expected, all this?
Well, if we look at tonight's game, we could see, especially the first half, that that Valverde helped the midfield a lot, because everyone knew that we couldn't compete with Liverpool's physicality. Everyone knew that. So similar to most of our games this season, we turned it up in the second half. So maybe the subs they were integrated at the perfect time, I would say, actually. And for Camavinga, that's 19 years old, I mean, come on, what an achievement to play in the final and win
that
it.
to Farouk, bro.
Yeah, Farouk needs to.
He was important this game. No one can this season and this Champions League run. No one can deny that.
I think today is the bad time to tell Farouk that Camavinga is has exceeded his expectations.
You have to be proud of it. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, of course, obviously.
Tonight wasn't his night. It wasn't about him, unfortunately, but it was about Valverde.
Yeah, but I'm just mentioning Camavinga. He deserves a mention.
Yeah, 100%. To be honest, you can't claim this 14 Champions League without Edu Camavinga, without Rodrigo Goes. This is 100%.
We should clip this and record this.
Already recording, bro. Yeah.
Let me give you a mic. Go on, Farouk. So yeah.
So that's just it. Although the game was won today, and today actually it was a team performance, really a performance to really, really be happy about. But yeah, just because Camavinga and Rodrigo didn't, come on and do their usual things, but we shouldn't forget the reason why we're here even in the first place. The impact of both these guys have had, it's really, really phenomenal. But what I would just disagree with Doris about is putting the fact that he's 19 years old and all that. Who cares about if he's 19? If he's 5, as long as he signs a contract and I employ you to work. I don't really care how old you are. So you just have to get the shit done, and that's all. So just bring him onto the pitch and let him do what he needs to do, and then we move on. So that's just
if there's a 5-year-old in Real Madrid who comes and becomes a part of the first team, Farouk would be like, oh, this is no achievement. Are you started?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, as long as you,
right
man,
there.
it doesn't matter, man.
I put on a kid right from the nursery home, and I just like started playing.
If you can do it, sure, man. Why not? If you can do what Camavinga is doing, fair play, man. Just come on.
But the real flowers needs to go out to Valverde. Oh, like I still remember there was a point in the season where he was the tactical option to actually go to a 4-man midfield and actually help KCM out. But the way he has actually grown into the game was mad. Because for me, if I'll be actually honest, him starting out on the right, I always, when I look at the team sheet and I see him as right winger, for me, that is a conservative approach. That is taking a step back and inviting pressure in. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that this guy would lay it on a plate for the winning goal in the Champions League final. And boy, did he do it well. And the instinct of Vinicius, all the guys, bro, all the fucking Premier League fans, yeah.
I mean, you have to just only look back to the last game, right, against City, when Carvajal laid it on a platter for Vinicius and he somehow blasted it over. But today he atoned for that miss, and he scored at the biggest stage of them all. For Valverde, I think the thing is, like, I honestly was worried about Valverde a little, because the thing is, like, when Real Madrid signed Camavinga, I wasn't sure how Valverde fit in, because although Valverde is a pretty good player, they have some sort of a similar archetype, if you might say that. And then Valverde started the season well when Cruz was missing, but then he had this injury in the Clásico, and after that, when he came back, he wasn't performing to his usual level. So at that period, I was a little bit worried. But the thing is, like, from the second game against PSG, I think this guy has really made a place for himself in the Real Madrid lineup. And I think while you guys are rightfully worried.
Was there a point in the season, okay, where he actually expressed some sort of dissatisfaction in his actual role in the team? Yeah, do you remember that?
It wasn't him. It was like media. They were asking him, you're not playing.
Okay.
Right. And then Valverde said, I am competing with Cruz, Casemiro, and Modric. They're the best players, and they're the best midfield in history, in Real Madrid history at least. So you just sit and learn from them. I think he had the right attitude. And then when he got his chance against PSG, I think he had made that place as well. And right now, I cannot imagine a Real Madrid team without Fede Valverde starting in it.
Absolutely. We should give all the flowers to Valverde, and he absolutely deserves it. He plays out with skin every fucking game, whether it's a Champions League final, whether it's a group stage away at fucking Sheriff Tiraspol. This guy is on it. From the minute the ref blows the whistle, he's on you. He is the prime example of how a guy should actually grab an opportunity, like the opportunity to actually start for Real Madrid, by the scruff of the neck.
But I not to be a Debbie Downer, but the thing like player like Martin Odegaard should probably learn from players like Fede Valverde, because because Valverde Odegaard ran away because
I wouldn't
have game time.
But yeah, you guys can't romp it out. But for me, I need to bring you guys focus back on another hype merchant, the man with the glorious dreadlocks, the man who is supposed to reinvent the fucking right back position in Trent. When the ball comes in, he is looking at the glorious pass of Valverde. He's soaking in the eternal quality of the ball that is actually being served. He doesn't even twist his body to actually make it difficult for Vinicius. He is a bystander again. People downplay all this criticism and questions that people ask of Trent Alexander-Arnold by just saying that, it's the modern game. His biggest qualities are in his ability to dictate the game from right back and be on the front foot. And people say, yeah, he's not that good defensively, but let me argue that he is shit defensively. That one moment cost him, another Champions League title. Like, do you think, okay, it's down to Vinicius' brilliant movement?
I'm gonna leave this so far. He's like,
okay, go on.
He's edging to go on this one.
Liverpool expert, tell me, was it fucking naive?
Nah. So the thing is, to be honest, like, yeah, it was like a lapse in constitution. Like he left the space and Vinicius exploited the space perfectly. But like, and that's the thing actually with Trent, like this things tends to happen. So I think it's part of the game, and like Liverpool have accepted these as part of the game. Because I think even that's one of the main reason why like Ibrahim Konate started the game today rather than Joel Matip. I think it was like to counter Vinicius's space.
He was good.
Like really, like Konate was really he was a brick, like he was a wall, like to be honest. So actually, I would say like in Trent's case, you know, the point is like I wouldn't say he's shit defensively, but he's weak defensively. Like, but he's improved his defensive game a lot, to be honest. But again, yeah, you're right. Like he had, I can't really defend that. Like it was poor defense.
I'm gonna warn you again, Farouk. Don't let the fucking British media
brainwash you. Yeah.
I think Liverpool, you know.
Bro, if Liverpool plays 38 games a season, I watch at least 30 games a season.
Yeah, do you watch Madrid 30 games, right?
I watched Madrid except for the 2 games after we won the league. I watched 36 out of 38 a season. Even for City, I watch at least 30. For United, I watched 25. So
just
like,
for a topic about Trent Alexander-Arnold, the thing is like I think Liverpool are aware of the fact that Trent is not that good defensively because today, as Farouk said, they started Ibrahim Konate. But the thing is like Vinicius' matchup was not Trent. Vinicius' matchup was Ibrahim Konate today. Because if you guys realize, Liverpool shifted their entire back line like a bit to the right with Ibrahim Konate essentially playing as a right back and going one-on-one with Vinicius. Yeah. I was impressed with Ibrahim Konate. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is a kid that
respect on his name because whenever he has started, they have never lost. They rarely lost, rarely drew.
Today is the first time, right? There's always the first time for everything. But the thing is, like, for me, I have been following Konate ever since his Leipzig days. I'm not ashamed to admit it. The first time I ever knew that Konate existed was on FIFA. But the thing is, like, I followed him. The only thing that worried me about him was his injuries. But I think the season he has had for Liverpool is something like very spectacular. I think even against Vinicius, he was pretty dominant. You know, he managed him off well. But the thing is, like, when it mattered, it was Vinicius who stepped up and scored the goal. So, you know, at the end of the day, everybody is only going to consider the fact that Vinicius stepped up and scored the goal and won the game for Real Madrid.
My only gripe is we could have scored at least a couple more.
Yeah, definitely. We could have, to be honest. Like, we had a couple of counterattacks.
I was screaming at the screen, Carlo, bring on Rodrigo. He needs his fucking moment. He's the one who got you to the final. You need to give him an opportunity to grab a goal and actually, you know, etch himself into history. And I don't know why.
I mean, Carlo Ancelotti made the right tactical switches. When he took off Modric for, it was, who did he take Modric off for? It was Ceballos, right?
Dani Ceballos, yeah.
Yeah. For that, I didn't understand it. And then when he took off Valverde for Camavinga, I was like, why is he taking out? But then probably I realized that Valverde is probably injured. But the thing is, like whatever he had. So the thing is, like, I understood why Carlo Ancelotti made those changes. And I think at the end of the day, you have to agree that Carlo Ancelotti made the right changes. You know, the thing is, like, just to go on a tangent, I think this is point in time we have to talk about Vinicius, right? The goal that won Real Madrid and the Champions League title, and how big of an impact he has had this season, because I think we've not given him enough credit today.
I think actually even before the goal itself, like, you need to, like, imagine, like, go back to the build-up play. Like, you know, it was like a needle pass from Carvajal to Casemiro. And, like, I really think, like, try that pass 10 times again and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, it was like literally like passing a thread through a needle.
It was a perfect scenario.
I'm sorry?
It was a perfect scenario that played out.
Right? Exactly. It was the perfect scenario that played out. That's my point exactly. Like, so
I want to put forward something. Yeah, sorry, Farouk.
Go on, man. Go on.
Like, Vinicius's passing game has been levels, bro. Like, I've seen him, you know, misplacing 5-yard passes when he was initially over here. With us, you know, the way he has actually completely taken his passing game onto a new level enables him to actually be very fucking lethal when people tend to be a little cocky and think to themselves, yeah, he has the pace to get it behind. But if we double up on him or put like 3 men on him, like you can actually contain him. But because of his absolutely world-class, especially this season, world-class passing Arsenal, he can actually manage to get himself out of tight positions constantly. Yeah, go on, Farouk.
Yeah, so actually about the Vinicius thing. Okay, yeah, go on.
Just one thing I would like to add is like it's not just about his passing, but it's also about his decision making.
Yeah,
Previously, while he
exactly.
was not making the right decision right this season, like especially with Benzema along his side, Benzema has been really. If you watch the games, like Benzema is always directing Vinicius what to do and what to do next. So I think that has really helped him, and his decision making is something that has really like put him at the next level.
So I think for the Vinicius thing, actually, like as Trent rightly pointed out, is that I feel like a lot of people, like, they just only like, how can I say, they don't watch the game. So you just go into the stats, like, okay, so okay, Vinicius scored and he does this. Like, not unless you see the game, you can actually see like how Vinicius has improved. So like that's why I feel like, to your point, rightly, like people get all caught off guard when they see like this guy can actually, make the right pass, attempt the difficult and succeed in attempting difficult passes. You understand? So they just expect like to see, okay, like, yeah, let Vinicius run and let's just, leave him there. He can't do anything after running. You get that's the thing actually. Like a lot of people just, that's the unfortunate thing about La Liga, to be honest. Like it doesn't have a lot of good marketing to like attract a lot of people to watch the game. So everyone just relies on, watching just 1 minute highlight, reading a match report or something like that. So that's the thing. So it doesn't allow for that. So
the thing is, Farouk, your points like exactly. I share the same sentiment, because all the fucking trolls that I had to deal with on our socials, especially the past 2 days, where they were saying, "Oh, like Vinicius's goal scoring and his splendor season has happened in a fucking farmers league." Now you see, what the actual fucking farmers are, bro. The hype merchants who went all the way go back home without a major fucking trophy. Yeah, you can take the energy drink cup,
They went from chasing for the quadruple to barely winning the double.
Quadruple, yeah.
Yeah, for the thing is, like, for me, the funny thing is, like, both of those trophies they won on penalties. They didn't even win any one of them.
They didn't even score a single goal, man, in 3 finals. 3 finals, no single goal, man.
Best team in the world.
Exactly, yeah, Doris, the best team in the world. Yeah, that's just it, man.
But the thing is, like, there's something that Karim Benzema said in the lead up to the game. He said Vinicius Junior is easily top 5 players in the world. Where do you guys think he ranks right now? And where do you think he should finish in Ballon d'Or? Because, okay, before the game, we had this thing that Sadio Mane could challenge Benzema for Ballon d'Or, but right now that's gone, right? No way Sadio Mane is challenging, So for me, the question now is, like, Benzema finishes first. Where do you put Vinicius Junior?
Second. Fucking second, bro. Second best player in the world for me. Yeah.
Before we go to Farouk, I think we should find out what Doris thinks. Because I'm sure Farouk has a lot to say.
Farouk has a lot to say. Of course he has a lot to say. It's expected.
Would you put him above Mbappe?
I mean, Mbappe is the worst player in the world, right? And Pepe also.
Yeah.
It's my opinion, so I'm not FIFA, yeah? Like, I'm not France football.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but bias aside, like, do you think Mbappe better than Vinicius?
That's a tough question, right? That's a tough question.
If Mbappe played instead of Vinicius, do you think it would have been a different outcome? I mean, more goals.
For me, yes. I think the thing is, like, Vinicius also contributes defensively. You cannot expect that same work rate from Mbappe.
Good point. Yeah.
Okay, bravo, bro. Finally. Love you, man. Love you for sticking, up for a boy. Anyway, go on, bro.
Yeah, Mbappe, who, today in the Bernabeu, they were broadcasting.
Yeah.
We shouldn't even go anywhere near the fucking name Mbappe, in my honest opinion.
And three, as more rightly pointed out, man, 3 years later he's gonna start coming.
3 years later, yeah. For me,
give him the number 7 jersey, man.
In the mindset that I am right now,
he shouldn't even dream about that number 7 jersey,
He's gonna get.
Who wears that number 7 jersey? It was Raul. Today he was shouting, like, he was chanting with the Real Madrid fans.
Yeah,
right?
Man, that was surreal.
That is the passion you need for number 7.
Yeah, that was really surreal, to be honest. Yeah,
but going back to original.
Was there too.
Yeah, Zidane was there. Tibo was there, and you bring Mbappe into the name. These guys are absolute legends, but all above that, they're absolute fucking class men, man. Like proper gentlemen. Like Seedorf has actually played for Inter Milan and AC Milan,
and he has won major titles with them both.
Both.
But
Yeah.
he never gets hated. There's a reason for it, you know. There's a reason for it. Yeah.
And then there's
Not
Morata.
Yeah, fuck Morata.
Yeah, but then the original question is, where do you put Vinicius, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So actually, for me personally, to be honest, I would actually like obviously like being biased, I will go with Sunaid's point about like Benzema 1 and Vinicius 2. But to be honest, like realistically, that's not gonna happen. So that's just it. Like, but I think the best position will be like top 10 for Vinicius, like top 10
Top
right
10.
now for Vinicius. Yeah.
Top 10, not top 5, top 3. Oh my God, why?
For
So
me,
the thing now
top
becomes
five.
this. The
Top
thing now
10,
becomes
no,
this.
no,
Like
no,
what I'm
that's
trying
too
to,
low.
I can list out to you like who most likely top 5 would be, right? It's gonna be Benzema, and they're gonna put Kylian Mbappe and Lewandowski and Salah and Mane in no specific order. And
How
then
about
you're gonna go
second
about
for
Kevin De
Tibo?
Bruyne. Oh, sorry, you said Doris?
How about second for Tibo?
Yeah, that's
the-
also a possibility, to be honest. But actually, I think like we can get like Courtois, Modric, and like and Vinicius in the top 10. I think this can be a very, very good possibility.
For me, the thing is like I think Benzema is first, but the thing is like I'm not going to put Mbappe over Vinicius because the thing is like, what has Mbappe won? Some league in France that has absolutely no value. He got knocked out of the Champions League. He missed the penalty in the Euro
And
Cup.
he's not a football player, bro. You guys should check out his Insta bio. It's not a football player first. He fucking runs PSG, yeah. Like that's not
Okay, keeping that sporting directorship aside, the thing is like I don't think he has the titles, and you know, even like okay, he probably has some of the individual performances, but I think like Vinicius also has them. So for me, personally, I would still put Mane second because the thing is like he won the Africa Cup of Nations, he helped Senegal qualify for the World Cup. So for me, those are big achievements. So I would still put Mane second, but then for me, the thing is like I would probably put Vinicius above everybody else and probably have him third, you know, or at worst probably fourth.
Actually, for me, what I think is that it's about like the point is to be honest, like the Ballon d'Or is like a publicity contest. That's just it, whether we like it or not. And the point is, I feel like Vinicius doesn't have that much of a PR, I would say, to be able to break into this. And to be honest,
bro, we don't pay for the PR, yeah. Like the Brits, we don't do it. Like you know how under the radar Benzema was up until he actually started killing off the fucking English teams, yeah. Like you really know that if we didn't face Chelsea, Liverpool, and City as the final three, do you think he would be talked about as much as he is now?
Nah, man, definitely. We come here and people discuss like, I agree Liverpool played 63 games a season, right? This season.
Yeah.
But the question now becomes Liverpool had played Benfica. Liverpool played Villarreal. Like Liverpool were literally in the final even before.
Almost fucking choked, yeah, against Benfica and Villarreal both.
Okay,
they
so
lost against,
and then
they lost against Inter as well. You shouldn't forget that.
So again, that's it. There's that as well. But I mean, like, you have to consider the caliber. Okay, we can consider like Inter were the Italian champions at that point in time. So like you can say, okay, it's an A team. You understand? But we're playing against Villarreal, 7th in La Liga, and you're playing against Benfica as well. Like, no disrespect to Portuguese, you understand? And Real, in the meantime, equally, we're going 120 minutes with Chelsea, 120 minutes with City. You get the point. So the intensity at which you play that game, the rotation you can achieve. Liverpool were playing with Costa Simikas and Ibrahima Konate, and the Naby Keitas and I don't know, the Bobby Firminos, Real Madrid were playing the A team every game.
Perfect chance, yeah. Edge of the box, perfect chance. The least, okay. Like you needn't fire it into the top of the net. You're not fucking Steven G, yeah. Like I get it, but the least you can do is fucking test Tibo. You know what he does, yeah. Like, do you guys saw his actual shot?
Naby Keita?
Yeah,
he wanted to do it with outside of his boot.
I mean, I'm not gonna go too much because he was on a sub. He didn't really have that much time and he isn't that sure. But I think like for me, Real Madrid are probably Real Madrid are not just champions of Europe; they're also champions of England right now. They should be the Premier League champions.
absolutely.
Definitely, man. We trashed all 3 of them, man. So the first 3 teams in the Premier League, we should definitely be Premier League champions. I just feel like like as I said at the beginning of the show, like for me, like I know like there's a lot of hostility right now towards Paris, but I'd rather Paris win the Champions League than any of those Premier League teams win it.
No.
Because the point is like they claim like they kind of have this holier than thou kind of feeling where like we are better than everyone. Guys, no, you're not. No, you're not. literally half of Madrid team will get into half of the best teams in England. Half of Bayern Munich team will get into the half of the best teams in England. Half of Paris team will get into the half of the best team in England. So it's a pharmacy, but like Guardiola's gone there and won 4 in 5 years. And then so what's it? What are you guys talking about? You understand? So, you know, it's just like we need to show these guys that, yeah, like, okay, you guys have a lot of money. That's just it. Anyone who has money is going to win shit eventually. Like, what are you
But
talking
shout out to Steve, yeah.
But like I was talking to Steve earlier, like right out of the final, he congratulated me and whatnot. And during the last episode of the Big Six, he was actually rooting for Liverpool because he was saying on cam live that Real Madrid kicked his ass, so he wanted Liverpool to
understandable, yeah.
put us to the sword. But hear this out, yeah. So he told me that wasn't what I actually felt. This is I quote, okay. He said I would be rinsed if I say that on live. So that's the reason why he wanted Liverpool.
Yeah, he probably told you in confidence, and now you're breaking his confidence.
No. I'm just sharing the sentiment because he told me he was actually fucking running around his house, seeing us win, and he told me that, mate, we were the actual fucking challenge you had, not this fucking shit Liverpool team, which I couldn't agree more. You know, City was the one that had me on the ropes, had probably all of us on the ropes, and the way people were hyping up Liverpool, where, you know, these guys are different. You know, they're not cut from the same cloth. These guys press more intensely. They have clear goal scorers, unlike City and whatnot. But there you go, bro. There you go.
Really, to be honest, really, like before the game, also, like I actually had a chat with my brother yesterday as well. And I told him, like, for me, like, that's the team I fear the most in world football, really, Liverpool. So that's why, like, I told you, like, I was, like, I wouldn't say disappointed in, like, I was disappointed, but it was good for us. Like, I didn't expect, like, I was expecting more, really, to be honest. So that's why I said at the end, it was just like a soothing feeling. As you said, like, the City game really gave me more excitement. Like, it made me feel like, yes, we did something. To be honest, like that's just it. Like I really expected a lot more from Liverpool, though.
For me as well, I expected a lot more from Liverpool because especially when you consider the fact we played City, we played Chelsea, and we played Paris, right? All three teams did not play with a recognized center forward. For Paris, like Kylian Mbappe is masquerading as a center forward, and you know Kai Havertz for Chelsea, and then City famously have no center forward. So for me, the thing is like when it comes to Liverpool. They had reliable goal scorers. Okay, maybe even Sadio Mane was playing as a center forward, so he's not recognized. 9. But the thing is, like, they have reliable goal scorers, both Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. You know that these guys can punish mistakes, and the way we were conceding chances.
You almost did. You know, the second half chance, the save from Tibo was unreal. I have no idea how he saved it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So I lost my track of things. But the thing is, like, I was afraid of Liverpool because of, you know, because they're good finishers. Yeah, so for me personally as well, I was like afraid of Liverpool. That was my point.
I get it. But we need to start wrapping this up quickly. But before we do, I want to ask you guys, one pivotal turning point in your guys' opinion in the season. One pivotal turning point and one MVP. You can pick anyone. Before, when we talked about it, we obviously kept aside the 4 pillars. But yeah, one pivotal turning point and one MVP for the season. I'll start with you, Doris. Go ahead.
Turning point. I would say Vinicius' goal against Sevilla. Not just for the greatness of the goal, it was a pretty good goal. But the confidence, man, like that goal, I wouldn't say started something, but yeah, it did. It started something in him. It gave him the confidence to become what he did today, as we can see. And also one moment from last season against Liverpool, against actually 2 moments because he scored twice that game against Trent.
Against the defense,
against Trent, by the way. So yeah, I would say him as my MVP this season. And I mean, of course, we had to say Benzema, but he doesn't count in this conversation right now.
5 Champions Leagues, yeah. Do you know how many players in the squad have 5 Champions League now?
I
Can
think today it was
someone
like
get the
it was
number?
9. I think today.
9, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't want to start counting, but the thing is, like, for me, I think the turning point, like for me personally, was the game against Espanyol, the defeat against Espanyol. We lost 2-0, but I think that was sorry,
RBC
2-1.
turned into prime R9, yeah.
Yeah, like, but the thing was, like, that was the game when Carlo Ancelotti started. He decided that he's gonna keep
That
away
was the
all the
game.
tinkering. He's gonna go with a base. He's gonna build a strong base, and then he's gonna add on top of it. I think that was the turning point
Yeah.
for Real Madrid's season, especially because I think it came on the back of defeat to Sheriff. And
exactly,
then
yeah.
and for me, the MVP is like obviously Karim the Dream.
I play.
Yeah, actually, similarly, I was gonna go like Mo's direction. Actually, I was gonna say the 2 games of Sheriff and Espanyol, actually, but then I'm just gonna throw it out in garbage and just say, like, for the Champions League, like, I'm gonna go the goal from the Donnarumma mistake in the second leg with Paris.
Oh,
I think in the Champions League run, I think that was the game. I think that was the very point, that even everyone, started to believe that, yeah, this can be done. We can do this. We can win this. You understand? And I would say, like, for me, my MVP in the Champions League run also, I think, will be obviously, as Doris pointed out, like, Karim is out of the equation, and we've also talked about, Tibo and Vinicius as well. So for me, I will just go with Fede Valverde, like, because Valverde has
I was
really,
thinking
really...
you are going to say Camavinga. I thought that.
No. Nah, man, like, really, Fede has really, really stepped up. Really, like, he has, and actually that's what I said as well. Like, similarly for Camavinga as well. Like, I need to see what he can give, before I can, like, vouch for him to start the biggest games or whatever it is. So, like,
But
really,
he has shown enough now, right?
Definitely now he has shown that. I'm saying, like, at the beginning when we talked about him, I was like, okay, this guy is coming from somewhere. I don't know how he's gonna adapt or lack of adaptness to the team. So I need to see what he does before I give him the flowers. And he has done that, and I have given him the respect he deserves. So that's just it.
you weren't
There's
giving him
nothing else.
enough flowers, bro. You exactly know when he had stinkers, when he was putting in shit performances when he started. I was the first one to call him out.
Maybe we should do a Thierry Henry movement and ask Farouk just now.
Nah, man, I've given Camavinga a lot of respect, like, since for the past couple of weeks, man, even months, man. At the beginning of the season, I had my doubts, and that's, I think, I am within my right to have my doubts, obviously. But yeah, I think, like, really, Fede has he really contributed a lot. He complemented the midfield very well, also while also giving the defensive stability as well.
I think for final thoughts, I would just like to throw this to you guys.
I didn't say my thing, bro. I didn't say my MVP.
Oh, no, okay, sorry.
Okay.
But it was something that
Like,
Farouk said that got managed.
no,
Okay, I'll
hold
hold
on.
it back.
Yeah, but
I should apologize.
Since okay actually later firing me again, I want to shout out Maker Richards, yeah? Bro, if you're listening, you got to pay attention to this, okay? And this is going to be short and this is going to be fucking sweet, yeah? Your career, I don't know how many years you have played top flight football and how many years you have managed to stay out of the fucking hospital ward, but your fucking career is smaller than the guy who you didn't rate, yeah? Benzema's 1 season, mate, yeah? Your fucking career is smaller than a guy's single season. Now, actually fucking deep that, sip on a pina colada and take your vacation, bro. It's about time. It's about time to fucking pack up and say, this is not for me. Being a pundit is too much for me. I don't have the pedigree to actually come on air and chat shit. If you're fucking Platini, if you're fucking Beckenbauer, if you're fucking Pele, do it. Fair play. But you're fucking Mika Richards. I hope you don't forget it. But yeah, enough of that. For me, my MVP should be Modric. At his age, to find the levels of fitness. Shout out to Pintas, man. This guy has again transformed an average-looking side in terms of physicality and fitness, especially last season. How you saw how fucking drained we were towards
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
And this man has come in and turned it again. And this shows You got to fucking give him a blank check. You know, write the fucking numbers down. Antonio Pintus is at the wheel. You know, that should be the fucking slogan from next season, because he is, if not for me, among the top 3 reasons we actually have a fucking double, you know, in 2022. Because start of the season, nobody thought we would be anywhere
value
near.
for the Super Cup.
No, unfortunately, that's a friendly cup. You know, for all my friends back in Saudi Arabia, yeah, it's good. It's good vibes, but yeah, unfortunately,
And for our friends Jerry and Ruby.
you could say that. I don't know, but yeah, my MVP would
You know,
be
for me, the thing is like when you said Modric, I think there is a certain Modric enthusiast in our midst who was very happy about
She
it.
doesn't speak much, yeah, because I think she's scared of the bias she might put into her thoughts. Is that so?
Yeah. I didn't want to say him, but obviously it's
She's screaming with your badge and, you know, like going. This is fucking Modric, yeah. Like, he's not your average midfielder, you know.
Yeah, for me the thing is like to just get your final thoughts on something. I think when Mbappe scored in the 90th minute at at Parc des Princes, none of us could have imagined that Real Madrid would go on and win the Champions League. Like, so how surreal is that for you guys?
Unbelievable. That moment, I still can recall my exact feeling then when he scored. I thought we wouldn't have any chance to come back, because I knew for a fact if we actually try to go at PSG, his pace would kill us, and it almost did. Like, like there was a goal ruled out for offside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 2 goals actually.
So we were incredibly lucky, I say, in my opinion.
Yeah. Actually, for me, actually, you know, yeah, go on, sorry.
No, I wanted to say my turning point, but you guys don't let me. But yeah, my turning point would be obviously the Modric pass against Chelsea, because up until then we were people blamed us to be pretenders. You know, these guys are pretenders in white kits with speaking about all the good years of the past. Yeah, and trying to cling on to past glories. But that was the fucking moment that Modric said, you know what? We might be old, we might be out of our prime, but we still can get the job done. Go on, Farooq.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for me, like, you know, like to most question about the Paris game, I really felt really like so down about the game, like, because we lost 1-0. Like, it was like literally like a really garbage game to watch from a Madrid perspective. Like, we literally turned like all the Paris stars into pressing monsters, man. Like, it's literally like a Louis Vuitton shop, man. Like, those guys, like, they're like just, you know, superstars and Hollywood stars, and literally like they pressed the hell out of our lives, man. And that was because like we literally were defending in the middle of our 18. Like, our line was so deep. Like, we defended so deep. Like, whoever came there was just gonna look like, you know, I don't know, like the pressing monsters or whatever. So like for me, it was a really like a down moment, and like, you know, turning it around and winning even in Paris again, the Champions League, you know, like, to be honest, it's a sorry moment. Like, it's a, and to be honest, like, we wouldn't kill each other. Like, we know that this is literally maybe the worst like Real Madrid team we've seen win the Champions League across the 5, you know, across the 5 trophies we won.
Out with the most clutch performances.
Definitely.
I'm not being biased, yeah. This is the most clutch I've seen a team perform, irrespective of whatever team I support. This Real Madrid 21-22 side should go down in history as the team, as the collective that overcame every fucking odd, you know, whenever it was stacked again.
I mean, personally, would you say it's the worst team, or is it the 17-18 one?
No, I think the 17-18 was good.
18 had more quality, bro, in my opinion. You know,
I think the 17-18 was good.
I mean, I think 17-18 like flattered to deceive to an extent. They had
for sure, yeah. But do you think that would be the case this season? Because even though we underperformed, we winning the double wouldn't flatter us, don't you think? Because we showed the grit to go all the way.
Okay, I see your point. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Phenomenal season, man. Thank you guys for being part of a wonderful journey. We have slacked at moments in this season, you know. due to one reason or the other, but we have tried our best to keep the content coming in and having this journey. Nobody expected us to actually go all the way and do the double. And I used to always stress this team needs to do it for Kareem. And boy, they have done it in absolute fucking style.
And in the city of Sheikh Mbappe.
Of course. He said he will be watching from the couch. I hope you're warm, mate.
Number one fan, Number one fan,
yeah. Like, I hope you sleep well tonight. Like,
he'll be watching from home, like in the future, from home. He'll be watching it from home.
Yeah.
Finals.
I mean, that's a very important point, right? He's at home while we're playing in Saint Denis, the Champions League final. That's levels to everything.
You know, he got to start getting accustomed to the fabrics, the fine fabrics of lounge couches. But yeah, man,
people are gonna make to eat their words when Mbappe finally leads Paris to the Champions League with the captain armband. Anyways, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So.
All right,
I mean,
the good thing is that we have the internet for records, right? If it happens, then you can go back and watch yourself. So it's not, or rather, when it happened, not if, when it happens, let's say.
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
Before we go, shout out to the Big Six show. Shout out to Big Steve. To Chris Khan. All the big dogs of the Premier League who has helped us out massively. In putting out content, and also shout out to RM Committee, who has been very helpful as well. You guys should definitely check them out. They have a very organic, very constantly updated Insta page. You guys should definitely check them out. But yeah, man, mad season. Any final thoughts, boys? Because
for me, the thing is, like, to our listeners, I think I'd just like to say that we keep the. Although the season is over, we'll still keep creating content for the summer. And
definitely.
You guys should take time to check out our social media. All the links will be in the description.
Absolutely. We have huge plans for next summer, guys. So I hope you are up for some of the weirdest hot takes from Farouk. You know, he's going to be on some.
Speaking of Farouk, guys, we missed Marcelo Vieira. I think he has 25 trophies right now, right? He's now outright the highest trophy winning Madrid star out there. Ain't it so, if I'm not mistaken?
He was even with 24. But yeah, I think credit deserves to be given to Marcelo, especially given the fact that he might be leaving Real Madrid.
I feel bad because I still remember the emotions he shared with Casillas and whatnot during the Decima, how much it meant to this guy.
Yeah, but I think there's still a chance that he might extend, because I think
I hope he does. I saw the repost like while he was talking to Vasquez and whatnot. Like I'm a fucking example, and they're letting me go and whatnot. I really hope that's not the case.
But for me personally, I just I'm at pains to watch such a great player, like sit on the bench and not being able to impact the game.
This season has been different, bro. At least the second part of the season, he has shown some sort of.
I know, definitely. I'm not saying it obviously Marcelo still has the the 25 minutes, the odd games and there, and you understand?
Yeah.
I still get that, but I mean, I'm just at odds to see such a great player, this is someone, you grew up watching, he made everyone want to become a right back, man. As they say, no one wants to become a Gary Neville, right? But everyone wants to become a Marcelo. That's the point. He literally redefined the way you think about, because the point is for me, I didn't get to watch Roberto Carlos and the likes of Cafu and all that. But we watched Marcelo grow from the guy who was confused with Robinho to the, to the person who he is today, you understand? So it was it's a journey for us as well personally. So that's why for me, I find it at pain. So I would just rather let him go, in my opinion. Anyways, that's just
he was a better version of Trent Alexander-Arnold.
100%, definitely, no doubt about that.
100%. And Trent gets hyped.
Man, don't put some disrespect on Marcelo, man. You don't even put them.
I think we're going to have these discussions in the summer, especially with Marcelo's contract, when we're talking about the transfers and everything. So yeah. I think we should just end the show for today here.
Yeah.
What a season, people.
Campeones!
Campeones! Campeones!
Ole, ole.